If you've set big goals for this year, then our topic of discussion for today is definitely mission critical for your success. We're going to talk about the difference between motivation and discipline and how this affects the highs and the lows of the emotional roller coaster that invariably goes along with setting big goals and striving to achieve something outside of your normal zone. Sound good? Hey, I'm Haya, and I work with aspiring high achievers and high achieving women just like you to help you ditch the toxic stress and joyfully rock your own world. And you can find our entire tribe of like-minded women at diggingdeeperforsuccess.com. So let's jump right in. What is the difference between motivation and discipline? And more importantly, how can I get myself to do the work I know I need to do even when I don't feel like it? I mean, isn't that the million-dollar question? This is what we all want and need to know, regardless of which areas of life we're working to overhaul. Do you agree? So maybe you want to lose weight this year. Maybe you want to tone your muscles or develop healthy life habits. Maybe you want to save money. Maybe you want to get a new job, or you want to learn or master a new skill. Maybe you want to start your own business or scale your existing business. Or maybe you would really love to enrich the relationships with your loved ones, even though they drive you absolutely crazy on any given day. Now, in order to achieve any or all of these goals, we're going to have to be willing to get uncomfortable. Do you agree? So here's the bottom line. Motivation is a feeling, and discipline is a skill. So in order to really illustrate this point, I want to draw you a picture with my very handy dandy spiral notebook. Okay, so if this really is the phase of life that we all go through, whether, again, I'm working on financial goals, whether I'm working on health and nutrition goals, fitness goals, family goals, business goals, it doesn't matter. If we are really working to hit high-level goals that are totally pushing us out of our comfort zone and out of the zone of normal, then it is completely human nature that we're going to have this type of a roller coaster, ups, downs, ups, down, up, down, throughout our journey. Okay? So based on the laws of human nature, these peaks up here, okay, these highs, these are when I am feeling motivated, right? This M, this is my very impressive artwork. This is when I'm feeling motivated, right? This is a natural emotion that comes after sensations of inspiration. I just watched a video. I just had a coaching session. I just saw a very motivating graphic or a meme, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to conquer the world, okay? This is when I'm feeling motivated. But what happens down here? What happens when I know that after every high comes a low? It's just inevitable. So what do I do down here during these peaks? If I do not have the skill of discipline, then what happens is my work ethic actually rides the wave of my emotional cycle. So what that means then is that my results ride the wave of my emotional cycle. So what do we do about this? Well, down here at my lowest of lows, this is where the discipline has to kick in. Because if this discipline does not kick in down here at these low lows, then I'm going to simply be at the mercy, again, of my emotional cycle. And I'm going to have to just ride that wave until all of a sudden I feel like working again, or I feel like, following my health plan again, or I feel like working out, or I feel like bonding with my family. So here's what I want you to understand. Discipline, this down here, discipline is doing the work even when you don't feel like it, until the feeling comes back. Okay? In other words, discipline is doing the work even when you don't want to, until the want to comes back. Are you with me on this? Okay, now, first and most important thing is that we really truly internalize this concept of the difference between a feeling and a skill. Okay? Feelings are totally based on the chemical soup that's happening in our body and the cause and effect of the reactionary cycle of what's ever going on in the world around us. Discipline, on the other hand, is a skill. And what is a skill? A skill is something that can be taught, therefore it can be learned. Okay? What that means is that a skill is available to almost all of us, regardless of natural-born gifts or talents. So anybody that is willing to put in the work can actually learn and master a skill. If I'm teachable, coachable, and trainable, and if I'm willing to put in the work consistently to learn, practice, and therefore master a skill, it doesn't matter how smart I am, how much money I have, who my daddy knows, what world I grew up in, what neighborhood I live in. None of that matters. If I am willing to put in the work, if I'm willing to put in the hustle, I'm willing to put in the grind, then that is what will deliver me to my desired victory line when nothing else in my life might be working for me. Are you with me on this? Okay, so if I know, and if I can really internalize this truth that discipline is a skill, then all I have to do is become a student of skill mastery, right? And if I can become a student of skill mastery, guess what that means? It takes the mystery out of it. It takes the scariness out of it, and it really makes it just very basic, like meat and potatoes of just like learning to ride a bike, learning how to read, learning how to do math, learning how to do basic computer skills. Any skill has the same basic formula of introduction, repetition, improvement, and mastery. Same exact thing with the skill of discipline. So the meat and potatoes here is that if I am willing to be teachable, coachable, trainable, if I'm willing to be consistent with my effort, then I can become a master of discipline and self-discipline, just like I can master any other skill, like say a foreign language. Okay? Now, if I know that this skill of discipline is a life skill that I want to learn and then master, all I've got to look at is how does this apply then to my goal of achieving these massive goals that I've set for myself in this brand new year. Now again, it doesn't matter if I've set these goals in January or July. You can start working on your New Year's resolutions in August or November, just like you can start a diet in the middle of a bag of potato chips, or just like you can start earning your first $1 million in the middle of a bankruptcy. So don't let the timing fool you, and certainly don't let the timing stop you, okay? Now, if I know that all I need to do to rise above this emotional roller coaster cycle, which we have all lived as victim to for way too long, then all I've got to do is become a student of skill mastery, and I've got to decide that discipline is one of the main skills that I am willing to learn this year. Are you with me on this? Now, just like all skills, before we become an expert black belt master ninja warrior, there are a few other phases that we must pass through. Before we become great, we've got to be good. Before we become good, we've got to be mediocre. Before we can even be mediocre, we've got to just barely get the hang of it. And in order to get the hang of it, we've got to be willing to start. So that's it. We've got to be willing to start ugly on the way to success. And I got to tell you, this is one of our life mottos here at Digging Deeper. Start ugly, keep going, and get better as you go. Remember, consistency is always key if we truly want to create long-term sustainable success in our life. Without a doubt, developing the skill and becoming a master of true self-discipline is one of the critical keys that will unlock the door to every dream you have in life. And I'm right here with you, my friend, digging deeper for success together.